Hurling final day, and we just want to welcome listeners on shortwave who've joined us a few minutes ago. That's listeners anywhere in the world, because literally on shortwave we are going out to North and Central America, Australia, Africa, the Middle East and Eastern Europe, and of course as usual on FM, medium wave and on the Astra satellite, again all over the world. So wherever you're listening to us, we're very, very happy to have you with us here at Croke Park. We're about 6 minutes away from the throw-in here. I see Mary Robinson just coming back into the stand, having been introduced to the players, wearing a very neutral red and white today, the president. So we're getting very, very close to the start of the game. Everybody's getting excited, and I'm sure Micheál Muraghertig is as well.
Yes, indeed. Gurmila Mahagud Khan, and what a magnificent sight as the green of Limerick line up behind the Artane Boys band, young and old in the band there, and the purple and gold of Wexford, and they'll be led by their captain Martin Storey. A magnificent sight indeed, with Hill 16 peopled by Wexford people with their colours of the purple and gold, while the area behind the canal goal is all green and white, the green and white of Limerick. The biggest day in the hurling year, the day of the All-Ireland final, this year the Guinness final. Limerick and Wexford, they're through to that final. They met in finals twice in the past. In 1910, Wexford beat Limerick 7 goals to 6 goals and 2 points in a year of objections. In 1918, it was Limerick 9-5, Wexford 1-3. The year of the big national bout of influenza, when Wexford indeed offered to walk over to Limerick, but sportingly Limerick wouldn't accept it, but they eventually won it 9-5 to 1-3. This is 1996. One apiece so far. Limerick going for their 8th and Wexford going for their 6th. As they follow the Artane Boys band, we'll begin with the team nearest the canal right now, and that's Wexford, led by their captain, their centre forward Martin Storey from Owlert the Balloch. Behind him, goalkeeper Damien Fitzhenry from Duffy Rovers, and behind him, the full-backs Colin Keogh of Halfway House, Bunclody, Ger Cush of Naveena, and John O'Connor of St. Martin's. Behind them come the half-backs led by Rod Guiney of Rathmuir, Liam Dunn from Owlert the Balloch. We should have Sean Oak Flood of Clubon, but poor old Sean Oak, he came out for the team photo, unfit to play, and back at half-back goes Larry O'Gorman of Faith Harriers. In the centre of the field, Adrian Fenlon of the Rapparees, and the great George O'Connor of St. Martin's will partner him in the centre of the field. Half forward for Wexford, Rory McCarthy of St. Martin's. Centre forward Martin Storey, who's leading them, and left half forward Larry Murphy of Clubon. The full forwards are Haven Lorvidesha from Liam Mellows, it's Eamon Scallion. In the centre is Gary Laffin from Glenbarn Town, and top of the left Tom Dempsey of Buffer's Alley, and they are the men of Wexford as they parade in front of the new stand on the far side of the field. Next to me come Limerick, who've already broken away from the parade. They were led by their centre half back from Partickswell, Kieran Carey, the captain. Behind him, Joe Quaid from Fiohana. Behind him, the full-back Stephen McDonough from Brewery. Full-back Mike Nash of South Liberties. His younger brother Declan Nash, naturally from the same club, has left full-back in the Limerick team. Right half-back for Limerick from Kilmallock, Davy Clark. Ilar Beale, as I've already told you, Kieran Carey from the Well, and left half back up the road in Adair, the youthful 20-year-old Mark Foley. Ilar na Porkiga Limerick, Mike Houlihan of Kilmallock, and Sean O'Neill of Moreau Boher. The half forward, some Gary Spillane, Frankie Carroll. In the centre, the captain of 94, Gary Kirby from Partickswell. Barry Foley, the youngest player in the field at 19. He's at the left half forward position. The massive musicians, young and old, parading in front of the railway goal. Wexford still marching with them, and we look upon the 3 Limerick full forwards. The man that was doubtful with an ankle injury, the right corner man, Owen O'Neill of Moreau Boher. In the centre, Damien Quigley from the Piercy, and number 15 for Limerick, TJ Ryan, the 22-year-old from Gary Spillane. Well, they're the teams that will play the All-Ireland final beginning at 3:30 under the whistle of Pat Hoden, and Pat Hoden is an Offaly man. Well, a wonderful year for hurling from start to finish. When the year began, the men of Clare, well, they were the All-Ireland champions, but then in that wonderful match and that wonderful clinching point by Kieran Carey, it took all the titles away from Clare, as Limerick marched on to take the Munster title. Excitement in Leinster as well, as Wexford started out by beating Kilkenny, then beating Dublin and beating Offaly, and in the All-Ireland semi-final, Limerick beating Antrim and Wexford beating Galway, and that brings us here today. And we know that we have listeners all over the world, special people in Camp Shamrock and Tibrin in the south of the Lebanon. They'll all be listening against Páirfáilte Roimh. I'm told that the 79th Battalion in Hadar to Barashit, they'll be cheering for Gary Laffin. I'm told that 83-year-old Wexford woman Nell Delaney of Auckland, New Zealand is listening out there, as is Sister Rita McCarthy, 102 years of age, from County Limerick, listening in New Zealand, as is our good friend Oliver Lee. Payout in the Wilshire, Páirfáilte Roimh. The All-Ireland final, the minor game was drawn between Tipperary and Galway. The senior game about to start in about 2 minutes' time. Limerick won the toss and decided to take the advantage of the breeze and play down towards the... No, they're playing down towards the Canal goal. They did win the toss, and Kieran Carey is defending back in the 50-yard line. Limerick will be playing down towards the Canal goal in the first half, and that's where the bulk of their followers are. The Artane Boys Band, well, the senior band was formed a few years ago, and on big occasions they join up with the normal band to entertain the people here, where they're now calling the people to attention for Ouran of Ian on All-Ireland final day. Great moment for anybody associated with this great occasion in any way. The band shortly will begin their march off the field, leaving the field to 30 men fit and ready for the fray. 30 men, and they'd all be in the age category described one time by Murish O'Sullivan of the Blasket Island as Fehabli and Fuivlaw, the 20 years between 20 and 40 when you're in full bloom of health and everything like that. Well, that's the type of men that are out on the field today. Limerick, slightly the younger team, averaging 25 years of age, is against 26 and a quarter for the Wexford men. That won't matter much. First time the McCarthy Cup was played for, 1921, won by Limerick, captained by Bob McConaughey. It's on, the All-Ireland final of 1906. Stalemate with Wexford attacking the ball, picked up by Mark Foley of Limerick. The first strong puck from Mark Foley, straight out over the sideline. Inside the 50-yard line, the newsstand side of Croke Park, a line ball coming up to the Wexford men. The cornerback, Colm Keogh, will take it, or will Dave Guiney go back? Rod Guiney go back to take it. Yes, Rod Guiney will go back to take it about 8 yards back behind the 50-yard line. It was 8 yards. He's brought it down to about 6 yards behind the 50-yard line. The pitch in perfect condition. It's a dry day between dull and bright, ideal for the game of hurling as Rod Guiney sends it past the centre of the field. Blocked by Mike Hoolan, but whipped on down there and blocked by Larry Murphy. Larry trying to start running up towards the 50-yard line. Looking now, still Larry Murphy, and Larry Murphy strikes and the ball has gone over the bar. The opening score of the game. Larry Murphy of Clubon won it 60 yards out and went 40 yards with the ball and shot it over the bar. Colleen won the Lochgarman. No score for the Limerick men yet, and Wexford playing with the breeze in the first half, and a puck out coming for Joe Quaid.